Hi guys! Today I want to talk to you about the invitation process. So the invitation process is a pretty big deal. To be quite honest, it is going to set the stage for how you interact with your potential clients and customers. So I hope you take this next 15 or so minutes to really take some notes and invest yourself in this invitation process. It's going to be so helpful for you in the long run. So today I want to review two things with you. First of all is a process called forming, which is sort of the basis for getting to know people and building relationships in the Beachbody business. The second thing is going to be once you form someone and once you really get to know them, I want to share with you the 5-step invitation process. And this is a process that Beachbody has created that I think will really help you in the long run to develop a strong process for inviting people. Okay, so let's start out with forming. Form is actually an acronym. So it's FORM. And forming is all about building a nice relationship with somebody before you present them with an invitation to join your challenge group or to join your team as a coach. So the acronym FORM stands for F, family, O, occupation, R, recreation, and M, message. So F is where we start. When you're originally going to start a conversation with somebody, prior to inviting them to the Beachbody opportunity, you really should invest some time into getting to know them. It is so important and really just shows that you're authentic and that you're honest and you have integrity and you really care about that person. You really want to invest your time into getting to know them before you just decide to sell them something. To be quite honest, Beachbody is not a sales business. It's a relationship business. We're really in the business here of getting to know people, building relationships with them, and then trying to figure out if we have a product that might help them in some way. So forming is going to be really important in getting to know people before you present them with the invitation. Okay, so F is family. The first thing you want to do whenever you're getting to know somebody is ask them about their family. People love talking about their family. Me, I'm a mom. I totally love talking about my kids and my hubs. But if you ask me about my kids, I could go on and on and on. And I really appreciate when people ask me, like, hey, what's Anthony into nowadays? Or, how old is Josephina now? So I encourage you to ask about people's families. Find out if they're married, find out if they have children. If they do have children, what do their kids like to do? Are they in sports? Do they dance? Find out the specifics. Next is O, occupation. Once again, people love, and I know I appreciate when people ask me about my work, about my job, what I do. So if next time you're engaged in one of these conversations where you're getting to know someone, ask them about their job. Where do they work? How long have they worked there? Do they love it? Are they looking for something different? Just get to know more about them. R is recreation. So a lot of the people you might find yourself forming over the next months and years are people who you used to be really good friends with, say maybe in high school or college, but you've sort of lost touch with them. And what they do for fun, what they do for recreation probably has changed quite a bit since you last hung out with them, right? So my interests in college were much different than my interests now as a mom of 2 and a wife and a full-time working professional. So get to know what they like to do. There might be some things that you knew that they were really into in high school or college, like let's say they were a runner or a tennis player, or they really like to go see concerts. Some of those things you will probably find that they haven't changed. Those are things that the person truly loves and they would love to talk about. But if their lives have changed and they're now a mom or they're now married, it sort of opens up the opportunity to talk about new things. So you can ask them like, oh, are you involved in any moms groups? Like we should get together for a play date, or just sort of, talking about what they're into nowadays. Once again, it's so important that you act from a place of honesty and authenticity and integrity. If you are not honestly interested in that person's family, occupation, and recreation, to be quite honest, that shouldn't be somebody that you're inviting to work with you, okay? If you don't care about that person, you shouldn't be selling them something. You shouldn't be inviting them to this opportunity, okay? You really need to be honest with your interactions. Believe me, people will know, it will come across. So take this as an opportunity to make friends, to get to know people, to build relationships. I oftentimes think that, in this fast-paced world of ours, we don't often give each other the time to get to know each other. It really is a gift to share that with somebody. So if you give somebody your time and you ask them about their family and their occupation and their recreation, you're actually giving them a huge gift. People want to share that time with you and talk about their lives. So look at it as an opportunity to really get to know somebody. And you'll really find that getting to know people and building relationships and making friends will be so influential in your business as well. Okay, so we got through F, O, and R. The M in forming is sharing your message. And that is really where you're going to share your invitation to become a Beachbody challenger or to become a Beachbody coach. So the next thing I wanted to go through was the 5-step invitation process, which, like I said, is a process that Beachbody created to really give you a good guide on how to progress through the invitation process when you're talking to a new potential customer. So as you become, a more seasoned coach, you're going to find that your way of inviting will become very personal, and you're going to find things that work really well for you, and you might completely change up this invitation process. But as a new coach right now, I really want to encourage you to fully embrace this invitation process. Use it for a while and make sure that you're following the steps because they're proven and they work. So the 5-step invitation process starts with the invitation. Now, this can look one of two ways typically. Usually, you're going to either invite someone personally, so you've been forming them through a Facebook dialogue or in person, and you're eventually going to get to the place where you want to invite them to join your next challenge group. If this is a personal thing, one-on-one, you go right ahead and invite them. You say something to the extent of, I have a fitness and nutrition accountability group starting on June 1st, and it's really great for people who are interested in losing weight, who just want to tone up for the summer, who want to get their clean eating habits reestablished. Is this something you might be interested in? It doesn't have to be long. You don't have to explain the whole program, the whole challenge group. It's just the way of presenting the opportunity. Okay, so it's short and sweet, really. You don't have to give them a lot of details. That's going to come later. Now, the second way that you might invite is through a public invitation via Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Now, those are that's probably something you've seen on Facebook from other coaches, and that might be something more like a photograph or some kind of little image. It kind of looks like an advertisement where it might be like Memorial Day Makeover Challenge, and it might have some details about what that challenge is, and then the coach might share the opportunity publicly and say, I'm starting this challenge group on this date. This is what we're going to be doing. Contact me if you're interested, or comment below with something like that, okay? So those are two ways of really inviting people, public or personal, okay? Now, once you present that invitation, what typically happens is the person's going to respond back and say something like, oh, sounds cool. How much does it cost? Or, sorry, I'm not interested. Thanks anyway. It's okay if somebody says, sorry, I'm not interested. All right. You have planted the seed. Okay. The person that you were reaching out to knows what you're up to. They know that you're a Beachbody coach. They know that you're running these challenge groups, and they know the opportunity is there when the time arises that it might work for them. Okay, so you didn't lose anything by that. In fact, you actually gained something great, which is that the seed has been planted, and if the opportunity comes up where they could use your services or your help, they're going to come back to you. So don't get discouraged by that. If they write back and say, oh, sounds cool, how much does it cost? Now is the time where you're going to transition into step 2 of the invitation process. And now transitioning to step 2 often sounds something like, well, cost actually depends a lot on what your goals are or what you're trying to achieve. So what you're trying to do there is transition into getting more information about exactly what that person wants and needs from this program before you just throw a price out there, okay? So if someone asks you up front, how much does it cost? I'm encouraging you to ask more questions and get more information before you just throw a price out there. Okay, so step 2 is what we call the interview. And there are really 3 main categories of things that you want to sort of ask that person about. These are 3 tenets that we feel are very important to someone's success in a challenge group. So it's good to upfront ask them where they're at on these 3 things. So number 1 is fitness. You might want to start by asking something like, are you currently exercising, or what kind of exercise are you currently doing? That gives you a better idea of, are they a brand new, exerciser who hasn't done anything for a long time, or are they just are they already working out a little bit but just want to step it up a little bit? The next thing is nutrition. It's so important to find out where people are at on nutrition, because this can be like all over the board. Some people are already eating clean and already cooking a lot of healthy meals, and some people are eating out 5 or 6 days a week. So find out those kind of things. On a scale of 1 to 10, how clean would you say you're eating right now? Or how many days a week do you typically eat out? What meals do you currently struggle with? What do you typically eat for breakfast? Those are great questions to give you a better idea of where they're at. And then the third and final thing is support and accountability. You can just upfront ask somebody, do you think you would benefit from some group support as far as like reaching your fitness and nutrition goals? Do you have anybody in your life who is currently supporting you on this journey towards weight loss? Those are all really great ways of finding out a little bit more information about what sort of program or product might be beneficial to that person. Okay, so once you know a little bit more about what that person's looking for, what their goals are, then you have the opportunity to share some information. So step 3 would be sharing some information about our products. I usually share some videos. Rather than typing out a long message or talking someone's ear off, I feel like the Beachbody videos do a really great job of explaining what our products are all about. So I usually start with the video called Ever Feel Like This. If you look on YouTube, you'll find it. But Ever Feel Like This is kind of like a general Beachbody video. It's not program specific, but it will give you a really good idea on what we're all about. And so it's a great place to start. And if you've already gotten to the point in the conversation where you can recommend a program or a product, now's the time to share a video on a specific product that you think might be a great option. So if you know someone's suffering from a really just like yucky diet and they're having really trouble eating a more nutritious diet, the 21-day fix might be a great option for them. But if they come right out and tell you that they're already eating really clean and they make all their own meals and they don't really feel like they need that aspect, then it opens up a lot of different programs, fitness programs, that might be better options. So make sure you really get to know what they're interested in, what might work for them before you start sharing, a ton of videos or whatever. Okay, so step 4 would be following up. Now I have to give you some advice, and that is that you can't expect people to just write back once you send them the video. They're going to watch it and forget about it. I hate to tell you, but people are busy, and it's your responsibility to follow up and find out if they watched it, okay? So you might want to even tell them when you share them the video, say, is it okay if I follow up on Wednesday and to see if you watched this video? And they're probably going to say yes. Most people won't be like, no, don't bother me. So on Wednesday, you write them a quick message and you say, hey, did you get a chance to watch those videos? If you did, then can you tell me, what did you like about it? Don't say, what did you think? Say, what did you like about it? You're going to try to keep this positive. You don't want to hear what they didn't like about it. You want to hear what they did like about it so you can expand on those things. So once you've gotten through that process, and if they tell you, this is what I did like about it, now's the time to share some more information about challenge packs, about prices, and about enrollment, and sharing that option to go ahead and make the purchase and join your challenge group. And then it'll be your job to support them for however long your challenge group is to really help them reach their goals. So I hope this is helped today. I gave you a quick, synopsis of what forming is, and I can't stress enough how important it is to really build a solid relationship before you start inviting people. I have to be completely honest. Quite often when I form people, when I spend a good amount of time really getting to know someone, that could even look like weeks of getting to know somebody and really reconnecting them after not having, contact with them for years or whatever. A lot of times I don't even end up inviting them. What will happen is I will ask them like, how's your family, blah, 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 whatever. And then they'll just come do the same thing to me. They'll be like, oh, so I saw your Beachbody coaching. What's that all about? And I'll tell them a little bit about it. Before I even have the opportunity to invite them to a challenge group, they're like, oh, that sounds like something I might be interested in. Do you have any room left in like your June group? Like, could you tell me a little bit more about the 21-day fix? I don't even have to invite them. I never come across as salesy in that situation because I didn't come to you and tell you about it. You actually asked me about it first. And that is the way to build real friendships and relationships with people. I work really hard to get to know people so that they'll trust me in this process and that they'll trust me to continue to help them to reach their goals. And so I think my biggest and most important tip today is just always act from a place of honesty and integrity and authenticity. Be you. Work with people who you truly want to work with, who you truly want to be friends with, who you truly want to get to know, and it will be a really natural process. I hope this has helped. And if you guys have any questions, I please encourage you to comment and ask, whatever questions you have. This is a really important topic, so I want to make sure you're really comfortable with it. In the meantime, go out and form, okay? Go out and if you're at a play date or you're at the park or you're at the grocery store, practice forming. Ask people about themselves, all right? No intentions of selling anything. Just get used to forming. Believe me, it's an incredible, life-changing opportunity to get to know people and learn about people. All right? Hope you're having a great day. Talk to everyone soon. Bye.